The Sports Scouting Report with Lee King. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee King.
Hi everyone, Lee King with the Sports Scouting Report podcast show. We have a great guest today, Dennis Skains, the head football coach from Cecilia High School, a Lafayette native who went to Turlings Catholic in Lafayette, coached at Turlings, coached at South Lafourche, got his feet wet at a lot of schools, and then got back into the Lafayette area at a great town, Cecilia, Louisiana, Cecilia High School. We're going to talk about Cecilia, the history of Cecilia, the current team. We're going to talk about Coach Skains, maybe talk some coaching, what he likes to coach offensively, defensively. Everybody adjusts to their talent, but everybody's kind of got their little, their little grain of salt, what they know, like position-wise, growing up, quarterbacks, DBs, linemen, which is hard to get a good lineman coach or skill guys, but we'll go ahead and have more of Coach Skains. We're going to introduce him when we come back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Welcome back, Lee King with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. We're here at the Julio Brothers Italian Restaurant on Perkins Road, which is about a block from Acadian and a skip and a rock throw from LSU's campus. They have brunch on Sunday, 10:30 to 2, and also during the week. It's just homemade food. I just love homemade food. I come here way too much, but Mike Johnson, the owner, they do a great job of doing that. And great desserts, by the way. Their red velvet is great. They got like this banana cake that's phenomenal. I mean, trust me, it's homemade. Even the desserts are homemade. And I think Coach here, Coach Skains, is getting hungry.
No, absolutely.
We got some garlic bread that he's going to be able to eat right after the show. But Coach, thanks for joining us.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you having me. This place it smells great. If I ever get married, this is definitely a place I need to bring my wife. That's for sure.
You've never been here before, right?
No, never. But it's a cool little place, and it smells great. And I'm definitely coming in.
Your shirt is all the time Sicilian, right?
Yeah, we do. It's just we do a little. We have a little saying for our kids every year, and then just have a spear this year.
Cecilia has a lot of history, and Coach Skains even told me, Skains is from Lafayette, not from Cecilia. But I remember going to a bunch of Cecilia games when I got in the business in the 80s. And Coach Wagaspack was the coach, the late Coach Wagaspack, great guy, James Wagaspack. I remember talking to Mickey Autry a lot, who was the O-line coach there. Later was at Opelousas and a few other schools, but he was a phenomenal coach. And I remember a kid named Jamaican Dartez who went to Tulane. He's a great running back.
Absolutely.
Ramsey Dardor, when I was getting into the business, was a great player at LSU, especially the 82 team when they went to the Orange Bowl and lost to Nebraska. 82-81 team. Anthony Clement went to ULL, 6'8", 320-pound offensive tackle, played in the NFL, went to Cecilia. And Andy Chance, coach, 1995, Cecilia's last state championship team.
Sure.
Kicked the winning field goal to beat Edna Carr.
Absolutely. I was at the game.
Perfect 15-0 season.
Yeah.
1995. That's hard to do.
Absolutely.
It beat Watney, Coach Watney, and Edna Carr.
Sure. No, it was great. It was a great season. I remember that was my senior year. So that was Sonny's Coach Chaponche's first year at Turlings. We were undefeated, but we had lost in the quarter, so we had to painfully watch the game from the stands.
But y'all support them, so.
Absolutely. And Andy Chance was a great player that year. I think he was only a sophomore, but he went on to be a really, really good football player for Cecilia.
really good football player, and I think he ended up being a quarterback in the end.
Absolutely.
But there's a different quarterback on that 95 team. I'm trying to remember his name. But Coach Ed Singleton was a great player. I mentioned to you earlier, LSU was a 6'3", 280-pound running back, D lineman. Yeah, running back. Raymond Calais was not long ago. I think he's with the Rams, trying to make the team again.
Yeah, he had some injury issues. That hopefully he's. I'm not sure if he's in a camp right now or if he's looking to sign.
With the UL in Lafayette. We can go on and on and on, but I want to get back to Coach's background. I mentioned South Lafourche. I mentioned Turlings. We left out Bell Chase. You were with Coach Bob Beck now.
Yeah, can't forget the Cardinals.
Bob does a great job, but I want to talk about Sonny Chipote and Bob, what they mean to you as a coach. You learned a lot from those two guys.
Yeah, I don't think I would be. I probably wouldn't be coaching at all. If it weren't for Coach Chipote and just a genuinely good human being, he kind of taught me why you coach and the reason you coach, and that it's not. I got into coaching because it was the most competitive thing you have to play.
Yeah.
But Sonny kind of showed. Coach Chipote kind of showed me, the real reason you coach, and just his competitive nature, something that I kind of adopted. And when I left and went to Bell Chase, Bob, who was there, completely opposites as far as personalities go, but Bob was unbelievably beneficial to me as far as how to organize a practice, how to run a program. He was always pushing me to get better and better and better, and I would have never been a head coach if it weren't for Coach Beckner. So those two men are, and both unbelievably good people, genuine people that are here to help.
And I want to state the same thing. I've met with Bob Beckner, who's retired now, obviously. Great guy, and always helped the magazine out, Louisiana Football. Always good to talk to. And Coach Sonny, I spent time in his office when he was there at Turlings. Both serious guys in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Old school.
Oh yeah, I would say that's a good
discipline guys.
Sure.
Nice, but
absolutely
organized.
And competitive. They're nice people, but they also they don't win, but they do it the right way, and that's where if I could be raised by two coaches, I was proud to be raised by those two.
And they'll still see the show. Both retired, striving to be them one day. Famous alumni coach from Cecilia graduates, Bob Angel, Louisiana State Representative. Al Biard, Grammy Award nominating recording artist and composer, 1978, didn't have that. Paul Hardy, politician, class of 60.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just...
Yeah. Well, Al Biard's daughters and niece have a band called Sweet Cecilia, which are also Grammy nominated. So they are also another product of Cecilia High School. So a lot of musical talent. I know Callie Guidry and the Megan Bayrard, and that group is are great. Are great representatives of Cecilia High School.
And we want to mention Ollie Landry's from Cecilia, but went to Breaux Bridge.
Correct.
We want to get that straight to everybody. She's from Cecilia.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. I think she's from Cecilia originally. I don't know her personally, but I think she went to Breaux Bridge High School, and I think they claim her.
One of the most famous models.
Sure.
Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Everybody likes Ollie Landry.
Sure.
We're going to take a break, Coach. When we come back, I want to ask you what makes Cecilia, the town, so special.
Sure.
And we'll get into your team, and in the final segment, we'll talk about your staff and talk about what's going on at Cecilia High School. We'll be right back.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of the Sports Scouting Report podcast. Our guest is Dennis Skains, the head football coach at Cecilia High School. Where in Cecilia, depends on where you're coming from. If you're coming from New Orleans, you're going to cross over that chapel, that Nason, and right after that, start looking for Cecilia.
Yeah, first exit
to
on
the
the
right.
That's
If
it.
you're coming from Baton Rouge, you're coming from St. Tammany, North Shore, Houma, Lafourche. But obviously, if you're coming from Shreveport, Monroe, you're going to be coming the opposite direction. You got to go through Lafayette.
Sure.
But it's not that bad. It's one of the greatest communities I've ever been to a game. And Coach, and I'm not kidding when people are watching us from Shreveport or Monroe or Lake Charles. But when I go to a Cecilia game, I count everybody in the stands, and I start thinking of the enrollment at the school. And the stands have more people than the enrollment in the school.
Absolutely.
It's just common knowledge. You go, it's twice the people in the stands
Right.
than
Yeah,
at the school.
We're so blessed with that. I mean, the community. I mean, whether you're good or bad, there's going to be people at the game. Sometimes, and if you're bad, you probably don't want that many people there because they're passionate about their football, and they should be. That's something I love. But we travel very well. A lot of people go to the games when we're on the road. So it's really, really good community that loves their football and they love their football.
8-4 last year, which is a heck of a record considering you had a young team and came off some great seasons. And always a tough schedule. Second round played a very tough talent North DeSoto, led by Dennis Dunn. And
Yep.
they're not easy, and I know I talked to him a few weeks before. He was worried about your team,
Sure.
as all coaches are. But Coach, it was a great year considering you had a lot of new guys blending in.
Well, that's some young guys. We lost our quarterback. We believe he's one of the best players in the state, week 4. And then because of that, we had to, that's Diesel Solera. And because of that, we had to move our best receiver, Jermani Davis, quarterback. And, of course, that changed. It took a little while to get the offense kind of rolling again. But that senior class was a huge part of what we've done the last several years in Cecilia. And, they finished it about like I would expect them to, which is they didn't make excuses. They kept fighting and they kept winning. And we were blessed to have that senior class.
The last segment, we're going to have highlights of B.J. Gordon and the Diesel, not Cecil Collins, the Diesel. Solario, his guy, Diesel. It's his real name, Diesel.
Guy's a guy, yeah.
And it fits his ability.
Sure.
Been playing since his freshman year for you.
Yeah.
Getting back to coaching. You're a defensive guy, Coach. A lot of high school coaches will watch the show. What do you like about defensive formations? And what do you 4-3, 3-4? Some guys have 5 DBs. Some have the hybrids. I mean, what do you like?
Well,
Get the personnel.
Sure. I mean, I've always been a 4-man front. I've been a 4-3 guy. We're actually changing. We're going to be more of a 3-man front moving forward. But the thing about defense I've enjoyed is, I used to have some really. I coached under some really good coaches, and they used to say, every defense works. Every one of them's designed to work. So it's not like there's one that's more special than another. If you coach and believe in it, the kids believe in it, it'll be good. But I love the psychology of it. I like trying. I like my favorite days are probably Saturday and Sunday where I'm breaking film down, and I'm a football junkie, a football geek. So probably not a lot of fun at parties sometimes, but I do enjoy the grind of it. So that's probably my favorite part is trying to figure out what you're doing and the best way to stop it.
And then when you get to 70 guys into the spring, you look at these new guys and go, okay, you look like a linebacker.
Sure.
But you don't read, so I'm going to move you to another position.
Right.
Or you're going to be safety because you can come up and it's too much space.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't read, right? You're
Right.
just talking ball. But
Yeah, of course you got to
start to
Yeah,
instinctives.
Sure, and it certainly affects how you're going to. You throw a lot at them in spring and see what they can do well and what they can. And we've lost. This last class was a small class, but we lost some guys that have been starting for 3 or 4 years. So especially our linebacker, we had 2 really good linebackers that have been 3 or 4 year starters.
You also find out who has hands and who don't. Right?
Absolutely, guys.
Who becomes
Who's the
DBs,
receiver and who's the DB? That's right.
What was that take about 5 reps?
Yeah, but being the defensive guy and the head coach, you get to steal a couple of those guys and use them on defense. So I get to be greedy.
You need some INTs.
Absolutely.
Some interceptions.
Plenty to go around.
How do you feel when you watch a game after, and it's a Sunday or Saturday? Played your Friday game, your Thursday game, you go, man, you're watching such and such return a pick six. And he read it like he made that happen. You got to feel really good about
it's
a kid doing that.
Sure, just watching kids develop in general. Anytime you see things that they've been working on specifically in practice and then it transfers to the field, I mean, of course you're going to feel, it's kind of one of the joys of being a high school football coach. You get them at a level where you're kind of developing a lot of those skills, or maybe at a college level, hopefully they've shown up with a lot of those skills. So.
You've also been pretty fortunate to wherever you've been, the mentality is confidence. Bell Chase kids, Turlings. It's that built-in, like you said, you had Becknell, Sonny, even South Lafourche. Those guys are tough.
They were.
And if they might not have all the talent, but you've been in some schools that it's been unique where it's full go.
Yeah,
nice to see.
Sure, absolutely. And there's always a level where you have to get them to. But no doubt, I've been very blessed with the mentality of the kids that we've been able to develop as a coaching staff.
Talking a little ball, I think there's some retired coaches that watch the show, like Coach Della Hussein and Herb Roche, absolutely. Louis Cook, who's not retired.
No.
I'm just naming guys in the area.
We got to see Coach Cook every year, so that's might be better when he does retire. But no,
that's a defensive guy.
He's so good at what he does. Really good.
That's a guy who had 5'8" linebackers and 170, but boy, they bring it.
Absolutely.
Or 5'8" or 9, and he's always got an undersized, quick D line that's unbelievable. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have more with Coach Skains from Cecilia High School. We're going to talk about his team. And we're going to start off with some highlights of some of his players. We'll be right back.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Grosavon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Grosavon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours. Located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back, Libra King with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. And before we get back to Coach Skains from Cecilia High School, go to our subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that. It's free. And also make sure to hit the little bell, and it'll remind you the shows are coming out. Please do that to support us. And we have a lot of listeners. We're trying to get more of those to do free subscriptions to help us grow. So we can do more of this, do more shows, which we plan on doing in the future, more every week. Before we get back to Coach's team at Cecilia, there's quite a few players we want to talk about. But I want to go back to coaching. And Coach, there's a coaching tree that has started. Brock Mathern, who's at St. Louis now, played at Bell Chase High School, who you coached and really good friends with him.
Sure.
His brother Blake, we talked about, was his start quarterback when they went to the Superdome.
Yep.
Heck of a quarterback.
Yeah, he was Mr. Louisiana Football League.
And then Clint Harrison, who's at Bell Chase, has been with you since 17 from Bell Chase.
Yeah, we got lucky with that one. When we had an opportunity to get him at 17. See, Dane Chaponche, who's at Turlings, was with us my first year at Cecilia in 16, and he got the head job at Turlings. And just so happened, Clint was looking, and we got very, very lucky in kind of snagging him and from John Arrett, and he's been a godsend for our football program. He does an excellent job. Always finds a way to put points on the board. But better than that, just a really, really good person, human being. He does it for the right reasons.
Football needs it. We need those young guys coming up because, like you said, Coach, it's hard to find a dialed-in young coach.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. It's almost where you get them younger now and try to develop them more than trying to. It's so hard to get a veteran coach.
We need you guys. Get into coaching. Kids need you. Continuing on, we're going to show some highlights. I know Jay's going to run. You sent some on B.J. Gordon. You'll see this once the show's taped, but B.J. Gordon, talk about B.J.
Yeah, B.J.'s our guy on
highlights.
Defense. And we've had several guys that kind of started as freshmen. We have a rule: the best play on the varsity level. As long as you're doing the right things outside off the field, and B.J. is certainly one of those guys. He kind of was our man in the secondary last year as a sophomore, and this year had a great spring with us. He's going to play a little offense too, but he's definitely he just keeps growing and growing. He's I've started him. He's probably 5'7". I should have my head examined. His first game he started versus Notre Dame, but had a great game actually, and then he just kept growing and growing and growing. Became a really good basketball player. He's going to be a kid that we think is going to play at the next level.
Now we'll show. Coach sent us a couple of highlights of this kid. His real name is Diesel Solario, who is been a starter since his freshman year. He's played quarterback. Has done everything. I saw him as a freshman for you, and I was like, this little guy is up there with Jamaican Dartez, all the great ones that have had a ball in his hand as a skill player. But he backs up the word Diesel. But here's a couple of plays of Diesel.
Yeah, it's a great name, great football name. But no, Diesel is we believe he's one of the best players in the state of Louisiana. He's only 5'9", and we do have him at quarterback. He's a running back at the next level. We play him everywhere, defensive back, and just because he's our starting quarterback, he's going to play some defense too. And really, really talented. He's I think the last kid I had that where you watch a game and say, just kind of shake your head at what something he's done was James Wright at Belchase. That's the only other kid that I've seen with that kind of talent.
James Wright went to LSU, played for the Bengals, and they had the late Chris Henry.
Sure. Yeah, he coached against both of them.
The late Chris Henry was also a Bengal guy, 6'5", who could play. But Diesel has a little bit different. I remember when he was a freshman for you. He's only going to be a junior this coming year. But he was probably, 5'7", 150?
Right.
Yeah, he's 185, 5'9".
5'9", he's still growing. Him and BJ and another kid, Isaiah Champagne, they were all out of that class that got on the field as freshmen and we're benefiting from their, obviously, experience.
Isaiah Champagne's going to also coach as a receiver and DB. BJ will be a receiver, DB. Diesel will be everything. Kick returner, linebacker, DB, running back when it's not quarterback. Speaking of your kids, Coach, your 24 class, you've got 3 really good players. DeMarco Roberts, who's a defensive end, buck guy. Jonathan Bubba Boudreaux, tight end, 6'2", 3-year starter. 3-year starter, DeMarco is too. Jalen Wiltz. Wiltz is a big name, I know, in the community, DB, 5'9", 170. How you like these 3 guys in your senior class coming up?
They're really good. They're 3 of several guys in that senior class. That DeMarco's a guy that kind of just hit a growth spurt recently, and he's been a great player for us, but that's kind of grown into that size, and I think he'll actually have a shot at great grades. All these guys, Jonathan has great grades. I think Bubba's actually on a 2-year track. So he would be a junior college guy if he decided to play. But those guys I've gotten a little bit of interest.
I want to mention these guys just to mention because they deserve mention.
Absolutely.
But role guys that are going to be seniors for Coach: Bronson Payne, linebacker; Jacob Joseph, corner; Timothy Andre, linebacker; and Caden Joe, O-line, D-line. Speaking of role players, Gavin Solomon will be a 25 guy. Christian Landry, a 25 guy. And I'm going to just roll through these guys. Huge kid, Riker Earhart, 6'6", 300. Started last year. He's only going to be a junior. Ellis Stewart, quarterback, receiver, DB. Braylon Jones is a 26 kid. Jermaine Davis, a heck of a player, 40 running back, receiver, going to be a 26 kid. 27 kid, another Calais.
Yeah.
Braylon
Calais, who will see the field this year. He's about 6'2", probably around 180 right now. Just a big kid. He'll be a freshman. He went through spring with us and had a great spring.
I love this name, Frankie Franks.
Frankie Franks, can't make it up. Really intelligent kid. Both of those freshmen, they take care of their grades. Good football players, and Frankie may have won himself a starting position.
It's good stuff, and you're always thinking of the next guys, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you do it 2D?
Oh, absolutely.
Until fall?
No, we do it. There's always So yeah, we do 2D, but and especially in spring, you trying things, who work well together, what positions, but yeah, absolutely.
Who is the greatest player when you played at tournaments? Is there a guy that you say, okay, That guy hit me and knocked me out. This guy was the greatest I went against.
Well, I played with Jake Delhomme, I say I played. I had a really good seat to watch Jake Delhomme because I was a freshman when he was a senior.
Oh, you got to see that.
Yeah, so I got to stand on the sideline and watch him because I certainly wasn't playing, but he was by far a lot like Sonny with the competitive nature and the refusing to lose and just not accepting anything other than winning.
It filled out later.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Tall, skinny guy back then.
obviously, he played in the league for several years, was in the Super Bowl, dueled with Tom Brady, so he's by far the best player that I ever was.
And Turling's has changed so much. Turf field, everything's new. I mean, just
yeah,
Coleman's bigger.
Absolutely, I think especially when they finally got me out of there, things started improving. I got a football field, and but it's grown, and it's and a lot of that has to do with the administration, of course, and Mr. Boyer. But Sonny was such a big part of growing the entire school, and he's a guy I think that is one of the main reasons why Turling's is today.
Coach Skains with Cecilia. Coach, you're addicted to football. I am too. What do you think is your addiction? What makes football be so important to you? I mean, we all have a kind of like mine is. I love the recruiting. I love the game itself. Not so much the stats.
Right.
I'm an old school guy. I like just seeing everything evolve. Kids, like you said, kids are growing. But is there one thing that's just like, man, this is what got me hooked on football?
You know, just really the grind of it just is what I enjoy for some reason. Just the watching kids develop and trying to figure out the plan and come to the, and then see it work. I think there's the process of it to see a kid, that you've really worked with on something and watch that develop and watch them succeed. That's where you get the joy from coaching. That's where you get the kind of payback.
Coach is old enough to know when the VHS tapes were being shared.
Oh yeah, plenty of VHS tapes.
DVDs.
Yeah, I went through all of them.
And now it's just hollow.
Yeah.
It's like have the password for hollow here. Give me mine. Give me yours.
So
you don't have to be at McDonald's anymore.
No, and trust me, when I was at Turling's, I was usually the guy who got picked up. So I was
Friday night,
absolutely,
Saturday morning.
Absolutely. So no, it's a huddle is a much easier process.
Coach Skains, any shout out to anyone? Anybody you want to talk about?
Just the Cecilia community. Just couldn't be anywhere without them. We have a great quarterback club, administration. We're just really lucky at Cecilia to have such a great supporting. So much support from administration to the community to the coaches. We're really blessed. It's a great place to work, and you put good players in the mix, and I do a good job of making sure all my coaches are better than me, so we can have some success.
Good luck to you this year.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Skains from Cecilia High School. We'll see everybody next week.
And Laura Hugo.
Laura
Hugo. Yeah, I didn't say her name.
So the band.
Yes, I apologize.
There you go. We'll see everybody next week.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Burkeen.